What's going on, YouTube? Tom here. I guess can't tell by the weather. There's not really much outdoor filming to be done right now. So Florida, we get kind of the opposite of everybody else in the country when it comes to seasons. We get wintertime, which is nice and sunny and great. You can film outside, you can make excellent videos all winter, and then you get to the summer, it rains about half the time. So figured I'd make a little bit of a life vlog today. I haven't done this in a while. What I always like to do is occasionally just talk about life in general, not just about cars and about the various cars. Let's talk about, life. So, I think I've got a couple of mods picked out for the Mustang, and they're actually kind of gentle mods. Not really like I'm going to go all out and go get a supercharger in the next week or anything, but a couple of minor, you can argue they're cosmetic mods, but they're going to be functional. Just something that help improve the car just that little bit and some subtlety. I'm not really going to divulge what I'm thinking of doing. I'm just going to keep it a secret for right now, but it's one for sure I knew was going to happen pretty soon after I got the car. There's another one I actually got the same mod done to my Tacoma, and then the second one is something that's just that subtle difference when you look at my car. It'll be that little bit different. It's popular, but I don't think it's necessarily every single car in the world has it. So keep on the lookout for that if you're into Mustang content. They're fairly inexpensive, but I'll definitely go over those in more detail. So if you're new to my channel, I've been going off and on about grad school for about the last, I want to say not quite a year. At least good 8 or 9 months since I first got accepted in November of last year, and I made a video about that. At the time, I upgraded computers because I needed a better editing computer. So at the time, I figured, well, I'll get a 16 gig computer, and it'll help for grad school. So that was something I talked about. And of course, that's helped a good bit, because I was actually able to put more stuff into the videos that I just wasn't able to do before. Kind of opened some possibilities. So now, for the last few months, I had gone back and forth about should I do school full-time or part-time. If I go full-time, it would obviously be to quit my main job, go to school during the day, and, I would get through this degree quicker. The other one was, do it part-time, quit my secondary job that I have on the weekends, and then go to school in the evenings. And, of course, there was the pros and cons of both. Well, I'm right about 6 months with my current job, which at this point, I'm only working to pay for the car you see here. At this point, the job, there's very little opportunity for me to move up in that company just because my degree is in mechanical engineering, as is, and that's a telecom company. So the problem is it just limits the amount of advancement I have, and realistically speaking, I'm not looking to stay there for the years, plural, I'd have to move up. It's just, the company is definitely not a fit for me. So, the final nail in the coffin was, they kept going back and forth about telling me that, yeah, they'll pay for my degree, and no, they won't. Final nail in the coffin was, they finally just admitted they wouldn't. And, I have to make a case for them about why it's good for the company. And, to be honest, sometimes, it's not, you have to phrase things right, but in this case, it just was one of those, it'd be good for the company, yes, but at the same time, I have to do what's right for me. I could care less about the company at this point. They keep doing things to annoy me, to where I finally just said, you know what, I like you all, it's been great. I couldn't get a job at the time I was applying. It was like, you were the only ones to honestly give me an interview, and they were so desperate they hired me on the spot, and that's basically the story I'm hearing. I'm seeing a lot of people quit around me. There's people who've been there less time than me that have already quit. And honestly, the rate that company goes, it's like, yeah, I wonder why. They just don't pay as high as, some comparable engineering companies, if you can even call that one an engineering company. On top of that, people are getting promoted there that they have no actual qualifications to even be called an engineer. So I really don't want to go on and on forever about my job just because I can honestly fill an entire good rant video about that one, but they're not paying as high as I'd like, but hey, I can make car payments with it. That was realistically the only reason I even cared to stay there at first. And that was why I was going to go to school part-time originally. I kept going back and forth on that. But them not actually paying for the degree was just the nail in the coffin. If I'm going to kill myself to work through school, I want to at least be able to translate that into something usable by the end. And if they're not going to pay for a degree, I can't justify getting a degree while working. So the good news about that is I'll definitely be able to get a job while I'm at school. It'll more than likely be part-time, and I'm actually thinking about a TA position right now, or possibly research assistant. Yeah, it'd be a pay cut, but at least I could pay for the car. Now, that being said, YouTube is pretty much on the verge of actually being able to give me money again. So, as you know, YouTube passed that new policy of you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time per year. I've got 16,000 hours of watch time currently, and I don't see any of that going away anytime soon. And actually, another thing I just want to say real quick is thank you all for 900 subscribers, because we're ever closer to that 1,000 goal. And of course, at 1,000, YouTube will consider my channel for actually giving me, proper money again. Now, from what I have read, YouTube is not actually being as generous as they used to be with money. The CPMs have been down a little bit. So, I'm not expecting to get rich off YouTube, but still, a little bit of money would be great, because I sometimes do go out of my way to make videos, and I would love it if I could make money again, because it would help pay for some costs. I could potentially put money back into this channel. Something else I just wanted to talk about was, what do I want to do money-wise with the channel? Now, back, last year in 2017, I made around $700 that essentially paid for the GoPro you all are watching through my videos and all the GoPro-related accessories. So, if I made money again, I'd be able to finally step up some of the quality of content, which I would really love. I personally want to get a better camera, more than like a DSLR. Exactly what kind of DSLR, I'm not sure yet, because I really don't want to spend, several $1,000s on a camera that I realistically wouldn't know how to use at first. So, now, I used to really be big into the hobbyist side of photography. Back in middle school, I took photography classes. So if y'all notice, I've been more active on Instagram. I've been saying for the longest time I'm going to get active on Instagram. So that was a great thing for me, was finally got back into that, and I really enjoy it. Taking pictures of my car and editing it, getting everything right. And I've been learning as I go. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's nice to be able to get back into that. It was something I really can say I wanted to do. Why I've never really studied it more in depth is because the philosophy of, well, you really shouldn't make a career out of your hobby. If it's a hobby, I kind of want to keep it that way. It's the other reason that keeps me from doing, professional photography or anything. But definitely I want to get a DSLR camera. Now, a good setup for a DSLR, the ones I've kind of had the idea of looking at, are usually around $1,000. Possibly even up from there. You can spend a good couple grand on a DSLR. But it would definitely allow me to step up Instagram, and for sure would allow me to do better videos for YouTube, higher camera quality. Although, cameras don't necessarily make the videos that much better, but you still have to have interesting content to film. But people have commented and said, different things about my GoPro, as some people might know. In the rain, it's not that great. Or not necessarily just the rain, the wind. I've got an external microphone, but, it does a little bit to stop the wind. It definitely does more than the actual GoPro, but it's still not that great. So, eventually I do want to step up camera quality and have the GoPro sort of become a secondary camera instead of the main camera anymore. But that, of course, takes money. Not that I'm trying to complain about money, but welcome to the life of wanting to live life, is you gotta have money to live just about anymore. But that's something I definitely want to do, and definitely better editing software, because right now I'm using Windows Movie Maker, which works. Don't get me wrong, it works. I've heard some people try to insult Windows Movie Maker, and it's like, hey, I use it. there's certain things that make it a little more complicated. I would love to have some, better quality software. Possibly I'm looking to get Adobe, try to get into that. It's not that I don't have the money for that, it's just my channel making no money. I don't want to start spending money towards a channel where in turn it's not actually going to produce any money back. YouTube at this point is an investment. I like to see it as. Eventually I want it to make enough money to help pay for things like a car. If I'm going to make content with the car, I want it to see it help pay for that car in return. Now, right now, that's just not happening. But it's okay. I really do love this car. I can't say it enough. I made a few videos detailing some problems, and it's like, see, I just can't, at the end of the day, I can't help but smile talking about this car. I can't, every time I drive it, wish I could drive it right now. I wish I could, if the weather was not as horrible as it is, I would be doing this as a driving vlog, not a driveway vlog. But, I really love this car. It's definitely a car I'm going to keep a long time. I want to continue to make some content with it, because sooner or later it's going to turn into a possible build on this car. Definitely looking at some mods. Now, I'm not going to go absolutely crazy. I don't want to have this... I say this now, I don't want to see, have this car have a cage in it. Harnesses, anything like that. I've seen people do that, where suddenly that quest for speed becomes horrible, and then you're spending, $30,000, $40,000 on a new motor, because you either blew the motor up, or you have to go to a built motor setup. And eventually I want to add more cars to a collection. That's kind of the long-term goal, is to have a car collection, not just a single car and single truck. But, it is what it is. But like I said, grad school is definitely something it's positive. It's like, for me, this is great, because I finally get another chance to, in my opinion, do school right. I wasn't able to get internships as an undergrad, so I'm hoping getting this master's degree, I'll be able to get internships and eventually get a higher paying job. It's definitely something I've talked about. But, this is life, man. I got plans for better equipment. Definitely keep on the lookout, because maybe in a couple of weeks, I'm not entirely sure yet. Maybe when this weather passes and we get some nice weather, I'm definitely looking at doing some mods to this car. Like I said, I've got 2 mods for sure picked out. Like, it's gonna happen soon, because they're simple. They'll easily help this car a lot. Anyway, I guess I don't want to keep you all for too long listening to my rambling. Haven't done a life vlog in a while, so I wanted to give you all just some sit down, just have a little bit of a conversation. This is more for long-term subscribers, I'd say, than new subscribers, but definitely if you're a new subscriber, I always appreciate you. My channel is getting ever bit closer to 1,000, which I really appreciate, just because, that's what I set out to do with YouTube, is I set out to make a channel. I set out originally to buy a car like this. I think at the time I started, I wasn't, entirely sure even what car I wanted. So I set out to get this car. I set out to make a channel chronicling my sort of love affair with this car. Now, I, of course, saw myself in a few different places that year ago. Things change in a year, but either way, that's kind of what I'm looking at doing, is grad school. And I'm actually really excited, because I'll actually have more time to film for things like YouTube. I'll be able to have more time for hobbies. So, just one final piece I just want to touch on as we go into almost... By the time this is done, this will probably be around 16 minutes of a video. Now, I'm working on a new kind of filming schedule. Hopefully the upload schedule won't change. I try to do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays if I do 3 times a week. If it's twice, it might end up being Monday and Thursday, usually around 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm trying to work out a better filming schedule, because right now I film sort of vlogs during the week, and if I'm going to film more major content, I'll film it during the weekends. Now, my girlfriend has decided she's going to work every Saturday with her job, freeing up Sunday for her so we can have more time together. So that being said, I'm still working out a better filming schedule, so it might be a little bit... might be limited to twice a week at that point for a little while, which to be honest, I think twice a week is just fine on videos. You don't want to do too many videos per week. If you do too many, then it just turns into people getting tired of seeing your face. So I'm of course thinking about that for a little while, at least until I go back to school and I can probably have like a day off and just dedicate an entire day of the week to making content. So I know it's a lot to take in, a lot of my rambling. Let me know in the comments section below what you all think about really anything of what I just mentioned. Mods, grad school, trying to work out filming schedule for YouTube, and of course trying to improve the channel through different avenues. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you're stopping in for the first time, maybe not from this video, but do check out some of the other content I have with the Mustang. Let me know what you all think about the Mustang as well, because like I said, I really do love this car. I do plan to keep it a long time. Anyway, take care, have a good day.